Okay, hey everyone, and welcome to our Husbands in Hawaii Zoom. Phil and I don't always match, but we were coaching soccer tonight. And so we decided we didn't have time to quick get changed. So we're here tonight, you guys, because we are so excited to hear from the husband's perspective who just got back from a 5-star amazing trip with Plexus. And so much changes for the spouses when they get to actually experience this trip, because it's amazing. I know that there's been so many trips that have just like been light bulb moments for Phil. And I'll let him share a little bit more at the end. But a lot of these husbands, some of them went from being skeptical when they originally started and all of these things. And so we just thought that it would be amazing for them to share, to hear from their point of view, because really our spouses, they're our helpmate, right? They're our teammate. We do life together. And so it's always amazing to hear from their perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to first. You're going to get to hear from our friend, Chris Lackey.
Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight? So just to be honest, when LaToya got started 7 years ago, I was obviously supportive, but not expecting a lot out of it. And so she had done candles, she had done, you name it, she had done it. And just my honest opinion was, here we go, another thing she'll do for 6 months to a year, and, give it a good shot, and then we'll be on to something else. So, and so she got in it with Alita, and Alita and her was, taking off, and things were going well. And, then things kind of hit a wall, and, she would be putting in 10, 12 hours a day, every single day. And some of the things that she always says that I would say was like, she would get her check and it would be $100 to $200 for a month's worth of work. And I'm like, wow, you're up to a quarter an hour, babe. You're really doing it, And so, but just, so the years went by, and honestly, she got kind of discouraged just talking to people, and just she wasn't in the right frame of mind. And honestly, I think that's why she's so caught up now with mindsets and stuff like that. And but anyway, so when she got back into it, I knew she was ready to go, and she was all in this time. And I can just say, when she got in and she got builders under, she got the other people in her team was catching the vision. It was hard for me not to be excited, to be really honest, because I didn't want to get excited and then be let down or whatever. But, she has really put forth the work. And I would just say that, man, it's just been cool to watch her. She got the Silver Stars. We got to go to Arizona. We've got to go to Orlando with some things. And just what I'm most impressed outside of her and the things that she's really doing is just how this company, they really like that. I mean, they put forth effort to make sure that their earners and stuff is being well taken care of. And just the personalities, just the personability from the guys. The CEO, Alec and Tarl, and even the new gentleman, I can't think of his name, but Glenn, just sitting with him in Hawaii and just having a conversation, 10 or 15 minutes, him to take time out of his busy schedule just to, to talk with us is, it's really cool to see a big company like this. It's doing, $500 or $600 million, that just they're so personable and stuff. And I was really impressed with that. And so when you work for a company that cares for its employees that much, it's easy to get on board. And so, and obviously the Hawaii trip, we had a great time, got to meet a lot of you guys that are on here, and got to really know you guys. And it's one big family, you know what I'm saying? And so, when we get to talking with some of the other guys, it was, we shared a lot of the same mindsets as far as how, the girls are doing. And, and I think just being around you guys was obviously, things that was showing me how to be maybe more supportive, or, hey, I'm kind of on track and stuff like that. So, so anyway, I had a list of things here, making sure I'm catching all my stuff. Yeah, perks like Hawaii. Like I said, just, her putting in the work, and just really going after this and having a strong upline with Alita and just you guys. I mean, sitting at the tables with you guys and just hearing y'all stories, Cheryl and Megan, just y'all stories of how the ebbs and flows of the business and stuff. And it's just, it wasn't like my business, I'm going to do this and we're not going to tell anybody else. I mean, it was very open and stuff like that. So it was real easy to, to get all in with you, with this company.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. We're going to go ahead and turn it over to Adam now.
Hello, everyone. Chris, that is really good to highlight the community and how friendly everyone is. It is easy to feel welcome when you go to these events. You feel supported and you feel like you're a part of a larger team, and it is a great thing to be a part of. We've been in it for 5 years now. I would say that at the beginning, I was not supportive. So I have an excuse, which I think is valid. My job is a risk analyst, so I always analyze the risk of everything. And so when she said that she had this proposition that was going to take, money and time, but eventually it was going to work out, I had to analyze it and I had to, tell her it wasn't going to work. So I did that. And
he says no for a living. It's his job.
I'm really good at it. But we did analyze it and we decided with the goal of getting her products covered that we would try to sell Plexus and tell people about the healthcare products that they can offer. And I was wrong. And so it started to grow and she started to do really well. And then it meant less time though. She was overwhelmed and she had a lot on her plate. And so that was another point of conflict. It was almost like this is taking away time from other things that were important. And so that continued for a while, and it partially reinforced my initial skepticism. I thought, this isn't really working out. Yeah, fine, your products are covered, but is it really worth it? And it was a struggle for a while trying to find that work-life balance. I would say recently I have tried to be much more supportive. I think that it's a great company. I think that the products are really great. They have been a huge blessing to our life. We were able to have our fourth with no medication.
Fourth baby, clarify.
Yeah. And we're generally healthy. We hardly ever get sick, except for right now. I feel terrible. So with the exception of right now. So great products. And so I was able to get on board with that. And then also, I just kind of had a change of heart or change of mind, instead of being in the I told you so camp is why don't I be part of the solution? Why don't we do this together? Why don't I come alongside and support you? I mean, she's not able to come alongside my work and help me, so this is a rare opportunity. I think that that's kind of what I came to. I'm able to come alongside her and do her work with her, and it's really special. And so that has kind of led to me being more supportive with things around the house, with also talking about the healthcare products with my friends. And so I would say that was the big transition. And then as our business has continued to grow, we've been able to do great things like the Hawaii trip and other Plexus trips where we're able to kind of bond with everyone.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and I just want to chime in for 1 second. A huge piece of Brittany's story that I want you guys to know is that Brittany was able to leave her full-time job when Adam took a new job, and they were able to relocate, and Brittany is able to homeschool their kids now, and it offered them the freedom and flexibility to do something that they might not have been able to do before. So I know with part of it, it's like there's this battle, right, with time, with all these different kinds of things. And it was short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain, which actually gave them more time freedom in the long run. So I just wanted to share that part of your story because I feel like it's so, so huge.
Yes, been humongous. Like we are living a completely different life. And part of the reason that that could happen was because of the flexibility of Plexus. So it's a huge blessing for our family.
I love that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Chad the Dad.
What's going on? So similar to some of the other folks, I started out, Victoria had tried a few other, say, network marketing opportunities. They all went real swell. Started and probably 4 months in, we've got a closet full of stuff, big investment and $0 coming in the door. So after I think the second or third one, I told her, Victoria, absolutely no more. I'm putting the kibosh on it. If you even start another one of these, you're moving out, get a whatever, right? So she started.
He did not say that, but
Yeah, right, I didn't. But.
I know we're glued together forever.
So anyways, so she starts Plexus, honestly, I'm going to say behind my back. She didn't tell me that she started it, but one of the beautiful things about Plexus is that you don't ever have the product in-house. There's not a huge upfront cost or startup. It's all about getting the products that you want and then sharing those products and the benefits that you get. And I can honestly say that she probably didn't tell me for a few months. And when she did tell me, I was like, just stop it, just be done with it. Right. And I was a skeptic at first, for sure. And she's like, but I don't have to buy anything that's going to be here. We don't have to rent out a storage unit or anything like that to host all the products in. So I said, whatever, you just do you and do your thing. She's been trying to get me on the products for about, I don't know, 4 years or so at this point. I'll admit I'm doing some of them at this point. I've tried the reset. Don't forget your 8 almonds that you can have every day. But I think the products are definitely good. You can help a lot of people, and that's really what I've seen out of Victoria is that a couple of things. One, the products have really helped her for what she needs them for and why she started. So I think that that's great. But I've seen out of her, she really wants to help other people and figure out how to help others. And that's a big thing that really drives her, is to figure out, how can this help you? Every person's body's different. And so figuring out that solution. So I've also seen her just, I think Chris and Adam both talked about the company and just the leadership teams that you see up and down. And Victoria's really become a much better leader. She wasn't challenged, I would say. And we've talked about this as a kid and even like in young adulthood for going after her dreams and do what she wanted to do. She was always kind of taught to go after the cookie cutter or the, what should you do type of a thing instead of what she wants to do or what her dream is. And I've just really seen her grow a lot personally. Our relationship's grown a lot because of that. But she's becoming the person that she wants to be. And that's through a lot of support from the upline. So not only just the products and the company and the support that's there, but just her as an individual. She's just grown really amazing over the past 3-4 years since we started to where we are today. So super proud of her for that. So, and then you throw in Hawaii on top of it. I mean, I haven't taken her on any, company sponsored vacations. So, that's a big plus. So yeah, you can throw that in there too. It's a very good time. Got to meet some of the other guys, make those connections. So, we can all give the hang loose now and everybody knows what's going on there. So that's what I got.
Good job, babe.
That's the best. That's the best. Okay, now we're going to turn it over to my hubby, Phil, and he's going to share his experience with you.
All right. So before I get started, I want Chris, Adam, and Chad to unmute. I want to know, what was your favorite part of Hawaii? Go ahead, Chris.
One of my favorite was watching you reel in that mahi-mahi.
Yeah,
that was a really good time there. And just honestly, to be really honest, is to see how the other men of Plexus were acting. I mean, because we self-evaluate and we look at things in other couples and how do they do and how, especially me, because I own my own business, and that has a lot of pull on you, and it's just cool to have that. To me, that was some of the best stuff, was hanging out with you guys and just just fellowshipping, honestly.
Bonding.
Oh yeah, I was the bond. I was the glue. That's right.
Yeah.
I needed to bond with everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for those of you who don't know, we rented a deep sea fishing charter off of Kona, Hawaii, which is known for one of the best deep sea fishing places in all of the world. And it was a lot of fun. We caught a tuna. Chris caught a tuna, and I was able to catch a mahi, and that was actually one of my highlights as well. All right, Adam, what about you?
I would say the snorkeling.
Okay, tell me why.
Yep. It was one of the best that I've ever done, and I really like snorkeling. So that was definitely one of the highlights of the trip.
Got to see the manta rays,
That was cool.
which are awesome, and get to do it with Chad and Victoria, which was so fun. Like, just to spend that time together. I'm sorry, it's not my answer.
No, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. All right, Chad, tell me about yours.
I think it was just the
Wasn't deep sea
people.
fishing, because
Right. Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah.
go
Definitely the
with
deep sea
fun.
fishing. I would honestly say the people. Here Victoria's always getting on the phone with, Brittany and Phil and Megan and all these people from Plexus, but just to see the personal side of you guys, hear you guys off in the distance when I'm in the other room watching TV or doing whatever, right, and shouting out stuff at Victoria, hey, tell them about this or what about that, and that kind of stuff. But just getting to know you guys a little bit better, making it be more of a family type thing, I think was pretty cool. So, and there's a ton of great stuff, right? I could go on forever. Snorkeling was awesome too, but yeah, definitely just the hanging out, I thought. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
well, Phil,
Huh?
what about you? What was the best part for you?
Honestly, the best part, every trip, it continues to be watching our team grow, and seeing new people on the trip. That's the best. The year before, Brittany and Adam, you were there. And then Brittany, your team has grown so much, and Victoria was able to come on this trip, and just to watch the bonding there. And then next year, we know Stephanie's going to be on there, and I'm sure who else on this call is going to be. Yeah, there you go, Amanda. So watching that grow and getting to connect with people is absolutely, Shannon. Sorry, I just see you there. And so there's so many people that you get to meet and just interact with. And Chad, like you said, I talked to Victoria a lot, I talked to Brittany a lot, but we don't talk a lot. And it was really fun to just have some of that downtime. And some of the parties they throw are absolutely incredible. The food is incredible, the music is incredible. For those of you who have been to a Plexus event and they've been to convention or something like that, you haven't seen anything. If you think the parties are good there, wait till you're able to go to one of the trips where you're in the top 3 of the company. They really lavish you with just love and appreciation. And so that has to be my favorite. Every year I tell Megan, I said, I don't care what we do, I'm swimming with turtles. And so I got to swim with the turtles again this year. They're literally right off the resort. So you didn't even have to swim more than 20 yards. Right there was an underwater reef, and there was sea turtles just eating there and swimming. It was absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, Brittany was sharing about every night they leave like gifts on your bed in your room. So you go out to a party, that's like amazing. And then you come back and then there's gifts waiting for you on your bed. It's so fun. It feels like a Christmas for adults. And I would also say too, and you didn't.
Hold on.
What?
This is my time.
I know, but
No,
but you
no. This
but
is
if you don't
the
care about what I'm
opinions.
saying.
This is the opinions of the men.
Okay, well, I'll close this out.
No, but this is the cool thing as well, though. So not only the presents, so they give amazing presents, but they also give presents to the spouses, which is really cool. And so, they gave this hat, right? So they give Megan a hat and they gave me a hat. so they actually think about the spouses and the plus ones that are there. And you're treated just the same. And the services at these places are absolutely incredible. And so go ahead and say what you were going to say.
No, I was just going to say that one of my favorite parts, I hope it was one of your favorite parts as well, is just that, when we have kids and we have life and we have other businesses and we have all these things, it's very rare that we get to have so many nights in a row of time with our spouse. Like, I know I see Caitlin shaking her head, like her and Eric had time together. And it's like, when our kids are, it's chaos, it's crazy. There's so many things. Phil, I know you tell people this all the time. It was true that you look forward to this trip every year because you know that this is the one trip that you're going to get quality time with me. And it feels like unlimited date nights while we're away.
Yeah, I guard this time, eventually we'll bring our kids to the trip. But right now it's my time with my wife, and we work really hard to be where we are. And this is, I guard it, I think you would probably want the kids to go the next year. Nope, not gonna happen. It is not, it's just our time. And so I look forward to that. What I will say too, and I'll touch on this a little bit, I did not believe my wife could do this. Like everyone else that was on this call, my wife was doing a network marketing company. She actually it was scheduled, and we bought plane tickets to that convention. And I think like a week before you switched, and I was not happy because, I was like, Chad, here's another thing that we're going to do for 3-4 months, and it's not going to happen. And so what I did is I told her, if you do this, you have to commit to me for a year. And one of the things I did in that is I made sure that I was not going to be the reason why she failed. And so what I mean is, you can find the objection in anything. You can find the negativity in anything. So if a situation happened, I could have been like, see, it's not going to work. Adam, you touched on that, right? It could have reinforced that mindset of this was not going to move forward. But I chose, and I said to her, I'm not going to be the reason why you fail. And it wasn't all pleasant, because there was times she wanted to kind of go to bed. I'm like, nope, you told me you would do this. You need to do this. And so I kind of held her feet to the fire and held her accountable. And look at our life now. It is absolutely incredible to think where we are. I remember actually, Adam, having a conversation with you and Brittany on the boat, because one of the other things we did with Alita and Cheryl and Megan and Bree is we rented a yacht, and everyone got to go on this awesome yacht trip. That's where we saw the manta rays. But I remember talking to Brittany and Adam. I'm like, can you believe we're here right now? Like, this is so unreal to think that this is our life now. 6 years ago when we started, my wife and I, we were on Medicaid and food stamps. And to think that we are on a 5-star resort. And here's the crazy thing about our resort. And we looked up the actual cost of a night, and it was around $1,300. And I don't say that for any other reason but this. We were telling people we were staying there for 9 days. And everyone's looking at us like, what? Like 9 days? Because if we had to pay for that, that is an incredible expense. But we got wined and dined, and it was absolutely incredible. And so I want to challenge you, if you want to be there, if you want to go and be a part of this and be able to be wined and dined and going to parties and just having some rest. When we first earned it 5 trips ago, we never went on a honeymoon. We couldn't afford it. So we looked at that as our honeymoon. So for every year after that, we've been able to do something. Mm-hmm. And so it is possible. You guys can have it. It's just a matter of how bad do you want it? And for the spouses, I'll give you this challenge. Sorry. I'll give you this challenge is just don't be the reason why they fail. Because I do know that my wife has tried really hard to to just impress me and do all the things for me. And sometimes we can think that we're trying to protect them. And so we try to help them make excuses. But I'll tell you what, it is such a sweet ride and it is a fun journey. And
He calls me a sugar mama
I-
now.
she
That's
is
how
my
he
sugar
introduces
mama.
me to everyone. He's like, hey,
this
your
is my
mama."
sugar mama. I make no bones about it. But in all seriousness, like realize what you could have, and realize that it's possible for you guys. So I want to thank you all so much just for listening to us. Chris, Adam, Chad, thank you for speaking. And thank you for being honest and saying you didn't believe in your wife at first, because I think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of wives can relate to their spouse having that attitude, and I'm sure a lot of spouses can relate to the disbelief.
And I will leave it with one thing that Caitlin's husband, Eric, said while we were there to the man who hadn't been to a lot of these things. He now said, when we were leaving, our jaws just about dropped. And he said, when's the next trip? Like, I will never miss another trip, because
Yeah.
he loved it that much. So when you hear spouses say things like that, you know that we're doing something right.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing night.